Hey everyone, and I'm traveling to tropical islands in search of new adventures and testing my survival skills. I will spend a whole week on this island, and my main task is to find food and fresh water to survive. I will make a primitive spear for underwater hunting. I'll encounter real danger in the wild jungles, and also make some improvements to my cave for a more comfortable stay. Now, this is different. The wind has picked up a bit and there are some waves. But the sun is shining. There are still clouds on the horizon, but nonetheless, there's blue sky. And the water will be clearer, giving me better visibility. So, it's a good moment to test my spear. Let's go! There's a dangerous spider. I've had enough spider bites, so I'll stay away from them. This is how my cave looks from the inside, with a little roof and some niches and then a small balcony. Here's the ocean and another big roof that protects even in the strongest storms. This is what my spear looks like: a forked tip, bamboo handle, and a rubber band. I can't wait to test it underwater. Na 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 na. Taking off my flip-flops. I need to swim out to that lineup where the waves break and there's depth. That's where I plan to test my spear. Let's go, first catch. My spear works perfectly. I caught my first fish while fishing and I'm really happy because the effort I put in has paid off. Now I have this small catfish as my catch. You know what's disappointing? And when you're underwater swimming and you see a fish, it actually seems twice as big and it creates excitement and adrenaline. But when I shot it and pulled it out, I realized it's quite small. However, it's still a source of protein and I'm going to eat well today. There were other bigger fish, but I missed them. I need a lot more practice with this spear. There are some nuances, but I will definitely figure them out and catch more fish. I'm really happy. Honestly, after sports fishing, where I mostly release the fish, I didn't think I would feel sad shooting one, but still, I have food now. Let me share a bit of my little experience of spearfishing underwater. The pros and cons of the bamboo handle. Regarding what we discussed earlier about my spear, it does float. That's true. It's quite buoyant. But I haven't noticed any disadvantages because when I swim to a specific location, I simply put the rubber band of the spear on my shoulder and the spear floats alongside me without causing any trouble. Secondly, when I shot this catfish, I needed to remove it underwater. So I needed my hands free, and again I just put the rubber band from my spear on my shoulder, let it go, and it floated to the surface. It doesn't bother me at all. So it's actually convenient. Plus, as you saw, when I shot at the box with my spear, it sank due to the heavy tip. But underwater, there's no such effect and it hits much more accurately. This is crucial, and balancing underwater is much easier than on land when I shot at the box. Also, I didn't have to shoot from far away because the fish was close. If I saw a fish near the reefs, it was very convenient. You aim nearby and shoot, but often miss, and my spear would hit the reefs, getting stuck, or sometimes the tip would bend and dull. So I realized that I was wasting a lot of unnecessary effort chasing fish over the reefs. They see me, they swim away, I miss and hit the reef. It's smarter and easier to look for small caves, dive down, and when the fish is there, either trapped or just hiding in the den, it's easier to catch them. And a fairly large fish can simply hide in the grass, thinking you can't see it because its face is hidden in the grass, including its eyes. But when you're above and during a wave or current, the grass sways, revealing just the back of the fish hidden in the grass. I spotted that fish too. I saw its small tail hiding in the grass, and I just swam from above and shot it, as you saw. Yes, I shot the fish while it still had strength. It broke free from the fork, but then I finished it off. Unfortunately, that's a characteristic of my spear. I have to chase the fish and finish them off later. But overall it works. The effectiveness of this spear is very strong. Honestly, I didn't expect it to shoot like this. It hits very hard. I saw a big fish, I don't remember what it's called. It was all blue and enormous, but it was at a far distance. So I'll need a spear gun for that, I think. Anyway, hunting with a spear is a very interesting thing. Actually, it's not difficult, just need a little practice and I'll become more accurate. Enough about the text. Now I'll move from this cave, because there are no dry woods here. I'll go look for dry wood, start a fire, and cook this fish so I can finally eat properly. These kinds of places are good for catching crabs. While it's low tide, small crabs sit here and warm up. That's how these small traps are formed for small fish. You mentioned I should make a trap for fish in case of low tide, and nature managed it without me, creating many of these small pots where small fish and crabs get caught. But today I have a good catch, so there's no point in getting distracted by these small ones, but I'll definitely catch some more later. I love exploring such places. I will take the catch and go to cook it. Look at this tide. See how much it has washed up on the shore while I was away. Here are some fish traps for you, but there's more trash here than fish. You recognize this place? I celebrated New Year's here. Look at how much trash there is. Wow, this place has changed a lot during the time I was on sick leave. There's so much stuff here. Some of it could be useful for building something, but it's overwhelming. Look, the first guide is already here. And the second one is thinner, which could fit inside the frame to add some flexibility to this bed. I can also use this thin one to make an underwater gun. In general, bamboo is abundant here. And you can let your imagination run wild. Look, there's a string here. And a rope to tie everything together. Some piece of a hanger. Oh look, there's even... How can I reach it? And there's fishing line over there. Well, in short, there's no point untangling it. Look, this is a small fishing rod that I can use. I'll be able to use it somewhere from a cliff or a reef, sit there and simply catch some fish vertically. That's cool. I even have a lure, but I can't really cast it. However, I definitely need to untangle this fishing rod, and maybe there's a hook here too. That would be perfect. Yes, there's a hook here. Super. It is just awesome. Look, I have a proper fishing rod. Well, not exactly a proper one, but it's perfect for fishing from some reef or from a rock somewhere on a cliff. Just perfect. There's a piece of fishing line, a piece of string, and even a small hook. Not in the best condition, but still not rusty. Look, just perfect handmade. Cool. Here's a ready plate. We just need to rinse off the sand, and there's a plate or a frying pan. Let me see. By the way, friends, I'm surprised by people who ask why there's so much trash in uninhabited places. Trash doesn't just appear because someone walked here and left behind 2 or 3 logs and a bundle of netting. It's thrown away by the ocean. It's logical that the ocean throws trash onto the island's shore and nobody will clean it up. Monkeys, snakes can't clean up this trash, so often uninhabited places are the most polluted. Just speechless. Look here. Even with all my desire, I would like to clean it up, but where would I put it all? I don't have the possibility to take it all and carry it with me, so that's how it is. Only with the tide, only when the water comes to the shore, it leaves all this trash here. While my campfire is getting started, I tore off a piece of banana leaf. I want to wrap my fish in it and cook it on the coals so that the fish meat doesn't burn. And so I'll pack my fish. I'll take this banana leaf with spiders. It won't matter in the fire. That's how I cut this piece. Preferably without sand. I remove the head of this fish because there will be a lot of juice in the banana leaf. I don't think it's a good idea to cook it with the head. I'll throw away the head, let some crabs eat it. A bunch of sand in the stomach. Looks like this catfish filtered the bottom well. Like this. Now I wrap it tightly like this. This should be enough. Now I need to secure it. I'll take a bamboo skewer. I wrap it tightly and close it with the help of another bamboo skewer. There, great. This leftover part can be trimmed. All my fish is right here. I'll take this banana leaf with me. It will be my plate replacement. What's up with my bonfire? Well, good. I already have some coals, which is great. So I'm spreading it apart on the sides, lowering the charcoals a little bit. Starting a fire is actually very difficult, my friends. Everything is damp, wet, and salty, much harder than doing it in our forests. The salt definitely complicates the whole process. Okay, I'll put the thicker part down, add a few more coals to the bottom, and we're ready to grill. Nice heat. Now, I'll close it back up with branches. Alright, I'll cover it with more coals. Woo-hoo! And let the fish cook slowly. I think 15 minutes should be enough. Sky. Hey, you turned the wrong way. Look at this claw. If I didn't have the fish right now, it would also join me by the coals. But today is its lucky day. I'll let it go. Look at how beautiful it is. Even now, it's biting the bamboo. Such a strong creature. I'm releasing it back where it came from. Oh, its claws are strong. It grabbed the bamboo and started crunching it immediately. It's lucky I caught the fish today. Otherwise, it would be baking in this thing along with the coals. Well, it's time to take out my baked fish wrapped in banana leaves. I hope my catfish is cooked and not raw. Something is crackling inside. I'll put it here on my plate. Come on. Looks edible. Smells like fish. So, this is what I've got, my friends.
Ta 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 ta.
I'm taking out the skewer. It's very delicious.
Opa.
Looks quite appetizing. Slightly hot. Well grilled. Seems like it's not raw. Tasty. Really delicious. And it's well grilled. Look at it, excellent. And such an interesting aroma from the banana leaf. Yes, this is it. Here's the blade from the fork and the bamboo, and now we have an additional source of protein. want to show you the whole cave through my eyes, how it looks. There's no wind, the waves are small, so the water should be clear. I'm taking my spear and going back into the fight. During low tide, the water level significantly drops, and because of this, fish come closer to the shore. This is especially noticeable during spearfishing, but so far I have not encountered any lobsters as an example. First, I tried to find fish behind the rocks, near the reef. Then I remembered that last time I was able to catch fish specifically in the grass. So this time, I decided to stick to this strategy and calmly drifted over the grass, looking out for fish. Look at my very interesting find. It's a skeleton of a pufferfish or balloon fish. I would have never thought that it had a spherical shell and it's combined with a honeycomb-like structure. Most likely it was thanks to these combs that it could inflate in size when threatened. The further I swam from the shore, the stronger the current became. Sometimes I noticed that I was just swimming in place, and the current was carrying me out into the open ocean. Therefore, it's important to understand in which direction the current is moving and swim across it, not with it or against it, to escape the stream. And the main thing is not to miss this moment, because when you're immersed in the process of spearfishing, in just a few minutes, the current can carry you out to the open ocean, where without additional equipment, it will be very difficult to resist the current and return to shore. Sometimes, very large shoals of fish swam past me, but getting within shooting distance of them was simply unrealistic. In these shoals, I always saw big fish, but my spear could not reach them. And thoughts about the need to make a spear gun for spearfishing began to visit me more and more often. Here's my second interesting find. Something very similar to the sea cucumber I cooked during my survival on an uninhabited island in Cambodia. But this specimen looked more like a zucchini rather than a cucumber. If anyone knows what this is, please write in the comments. And can it be cooked and eaten? This specimen was huge, about half a meter. If it's edible, that's good. After many misses and a lot of hits on the reefs, my spear became very blunt and I needed to sharpen it. I sharpened the tip of my spear with the file that is in my multi-tool, but if I didn't have it, as an alternative, I would have used any flat stone. Again, the sky is clouding over. I can feel a strong rain is about to start as usual. But I have this dome over my head, a whole umbrella. A big cave. You can easily hide from the rain here, and I hope you can see. Over there is a big cave where I'll make a fire and warm up. The ocean is relatively calm, the water is clear. Sometimes the sun comes out. I need to get going to explore. In my last video, during an underwater hunt in the grass, I managed to shoot a decent fish, which I then cooked on a fire in a banana leaf and had a good snack, but that wasn't enough. I'll go hunting further. This time I was looking more and more closely into the grass, and just like last time in the grass, I noticed a black tail. Took a breath, loaded my harpoon, and dived to look for a fish. But there was another surprise waiting for me. It was a moray eel, very angry, aggressive, and dangerous fish, which can easily bite off a phalanx of a finger to a curious diver or an inexperienced underwater hunter. With this fish, you need to be careful and keep your distance. Look again, as soon as I moved the grass, it swam towards me, opened its mouth, and thus signaled that it was aggressive. Although it is edible and very tasty, this fish is quite dangerous and I didn't want to kill it. But I wanted to show you its aggressive reaction. Again, I wanted to swim up to a reef to look at the fish there and didn't notice that I was caught in a very strong current and one hand wasn't enough to cope with it. So I put the rubber band from my harpoon around my neck and started swimming with two hands across the current to get out of it as soon as possible. I had swum about 200 meters from the shore. The depth here was greater, about 4 meters, and I came across another underwater pumpkin. As far as I know, it's a trumpet fish. There were two, but they kept a safe distance. While watching the fish under the stone, I noticed something very interesting. It was a lionfish or lion scorpion. This fish is poisonous and deadly dangerous, so it's better not to touch it with your hands. And here are some other unknown creatures to me, which look like pencils located in water completely vertically. I don't know what it is, so please tell me in the comments, but most likely it's some kind of fish. During low tide, I noticed that I didn't encounter any lobsters on my path, and now on the way back, when I was swimming closer to the shore, where the depth was about 1.5 meters, in a burrow, I found a small lobster. I won't tire you out. I spent about 10 minutes on him in an attempt to get him out of the burrow. But all I managed to do was just break off his antennas and surface with them in my hand. This time my underwater hunting ended without any catch, but I promise you in the next video I'll make up for it. So today is another underwater hunting day, and I'm holding my homemade spear. Got the first hit, but the fish didn't stay on my spear and swam away. But since the wound was very severe, I knew it couldn't swim far. I needed to find it. Exploring the location in the direction the fish swam, and finally found it under one of the rocks. With the second shot, I finished it off and it ended up on the other side of the rock. It was already dead, so I just picked it up. Quite a small catch, but very important for me. A source of protein and my energy for the day. I realized that this little fish wouldn't be enough for me and I needed to hunt more. I noticed a fairly large fish in front of me. Take a breath and dive for it. But at the most crucial moment, my spear breaks down. Namely, the rope tore off from the rubber band, and during one of the misses, I hit a reef and knocked off a piece of the tip of my spear. Now my spear needs repair, but I decided to dive a little more, but without a spear, to explore the underwater world in this location in more detail. And in front of me, I noticed a very beautiful but deadly dangerous fish called a lionfish. Swimming a bit further, I meet two more lion scorpions. But as I understood it's a male and a female, they stayed close together, but one fish was brightly orange and the second was more dark with yellow spots. Also on my way, I met this sea pumpkin again. I guess it's a sea cucumber. Forgive me, they are really very large here, and this one is a record holder. This is the largest sea cucumber I've met in these waters, and in my life in general, it's very much like our leech, but 100 times bigger. When I was surviving on a deserted island in Cambodia and cooked a sea cucumber, it tasted like salty rubber, and I wonder how this one might taste. I think I'll find out soon. And here during swimming, I caught a phenomenal moment on camera. Let's watch what happened again. An eel jumps out and grabs a small fish and drags it like a snake into its hold. During the low tide, the fish move closer to the shore, which is very good for me, so I need to quickly repair my spear and get back to hunting. And for now, I need to prepare the fish that I just caught. I perform a rescue operation for this hermit crab, which is walking for some reason without a shell. And this is dangerous for them. So I will give this little home for him. Let him hide in it for now. Because if the birds are flying, they will eat him right away. And here he can hide for now until he finds something more suitable. Yes, the tide is strong indeed. First off, I need to clean my dried up fish, my catch. It's small, but it looks twice as big underwater. But it is what it is. It's going to be a decent snack for me. Now I'm going to wash my fish, put it on the fire to cook, and won't waste time. I'll do something useful. Considering that there's a lot of bamboo washed up on the shore, I should make myself a bed or a lounge chair. After the rain, these leaves are the best cover from the rain. Moreover, they hang and get blown by the wind, meaning they're probably quite dry, and I can use them for my fire. There's a lot of very wet wood around, and that's a big problem for me. I need to be careful picking this grass because it's very prickly. Did you see that? Wasps attacked. One bit my hand and another one my lip. It's very dangerous. I hope I don't have any allergies. It's very dangerous. Such a nuisance. You see, those are wasps and they're flying after me. Damn, I've really got myself into trouble. What the heck? This is absolutely crazy. I stepped on the wasp 3 times and it still flew away. It's surreal. It hurts so much. It's horrible. What a disaster. Friends, this is how I prepared the fish. Hornets attacked me, or were they wasps? They don't look like our wasps. 1 bit me on the lip, it swelled, and 2 bit me on the hand. I knew that if these bites were very poisonous or triggered an allergic reaction, my face would start to swell, and my airways could become blocked, causing me major problems. I don't know if they could be very poisonous. It could be dangerous to my life. So that's the situation. Damn it. My lip is swelling very quickly and severely. Look at my lip. It's a disaster. This is no joke. This is really bad. Just really bad. I'm in a mess. I urgently need evacuation. This is no joking matter. Look at my face. The main thing is that my airways don't swell up, because that could cause major problems. The only option I have left is to climb back over the rock and hurry back to the cave where I left a small first aid kit after the bite of a poisonous spider. I didn't know how dangerous these bites were. All I could do was keep moving forward. This is crazy. This is serious. No joking matter. Need to hurry up. I don't know, but I'm trying to run. But I'm afraid that it might speed up the spread of this venom in my blood. It's very hard for me to climb up to the other side. It hurts terribly. Well, I must not waste time. Let's move on. I started feeling dizzy from suddenly starting to climb upwards. I hope it's not the result of the bite. It's very hard to climb, and it's very high. Oh my. So that's the situation, friends. This is bad. I need to catch my breath. I can't climb any further. It's very high, very hot, and the adrenaline is making my blood pump faster. I know I'm not supposed to do this when bitten by a poisonous creature. The faster you move, the faster your blood moves in your body, and therefore the poison spreads, but I have no choice. I can't wait here. I just have to keep going. Now let's take a closer look at what really happened, what I did, and what I needed to do in this situation. So, I approach these bushes, and I understand perfectly well that in humid weather this corner is dry, and various crawling creatures can hide there, so I approached this place with caution and lifted this grass on the ground very slowly and carefully so as not to encounter a snake, centipede, or scorpion there. Also, I noticed a hole in the sand, which means there were some burrows. I also paid attention to them, but I didn't consider the possibility that danger could come from above. I wasn't prepared for that. I indicate that the grass is dry enough and I can use it to light my fire. I take out my knife and start cutting the grass. As soon as I started to squeeze this grass, these creatures start flying out from it. Whether they are wasps or hornets, I didn't fully understand, but let's call it a hornet, correct me in the comments. One of them immediately lands on my sleeve, and in a second, all hell breaks loose. The first one bites my fingers, and another one immediately heads for my mouth. As far as I know, wasps and bees instinctively look for a hole to fly into during an attack, like a sleeve or behind the collar. But in this case, it wanted to fly into my mouth. I managed to close it in time and get a second sting right on my lip. Before I could fully comprehend the seriousness of the situation, I start running, not noticing that I'm running away with a hornet on my sleeve. As far as I know and from my own previous experience, when wasps or bees attack, you need to run towards water. Run without looking back because they escort and follow you. I thought I had run a safe distance, but I was wrong again. I started examining my injuries and went back to get my phone. I looked at my face, looked at my lip, and at that moment a hornet flew off my sleeve next to my head. Carefully examining me, gaining speed, and attacking my face. I managed to dodge in time, swat it aside, and start running. Then I noticed another hornet sitting on my phone screen. This time I realized I needed to keep more distance and run towards water. Did you see that? I reached the water and realized I couldn't dive because I had my phone in my hand. So I just went deeper into the water and moved as far away as possible just to be safe. I don't know why, but I went to the left and backed myself into a dead end. I guess my survival instincts were missing at that moment. When I had moved as far and as far away as possible, I sat down to catch my breath and assess all the damage and what just happened. I didn't know how dangerous this bite was, but I immediately understood that if the body has an allergy, my airways can be blocked. And this is very dangerous for my life. That's why I kept checking my face more and more often, and how it changes after a bite. I think I was safe now, but at that moment I get another bite on my arm. Immediately knock the hornet into the sand and stomp on it with all my strength. I weigh 80 kilograms. After that, the hornet flies up and starts to fly away. A second and third hit, but it starts to fly away. And here, with all my strength, I surely make the fourth hit. After which it still takes off. This is some Terminator hornet. I was really shocked. I stomped it into the sand with all my strength 4 times, but it just flew away. Now my only mission is to get to the cave as quickly as possible and use the first aid kit.